But let's talk about a non-dominant team who've definitely been dominating the headlines recently. George, why don't you tell us what's going on at Alpine? If anyone can actually figure out what's going on at Alpine.
Flavio Briatore induced chaos. I mean, when he came back into F1, I said this would happen. I said there would be just an absolute chaos multiplier, and nothing good would come of it. We've had a chaos multiplier. So far, nothing good has come from it. I mean, so obviously for people who've somehow missed it, it just came out of nowhere that Oliver Oakes has resigned, officially resigned, unofficially he's been sacked or told to get out pretty much. There's clearly been a power struggle, as we were saying in our group chat last night, between Briatore and Oakes. And I think it all kind of emerges and emanates from Jack Doohan. Not to blame Jack Doohan, but it's all to do with that situation. And the news today that we've had is obviously confirming that, because Franco Colapinto is going to be the second Alpine driver, or in that seat anyway, in place of Jack Doohan for the next 5 races at least. Um, and yeah, I
Five
mean,
races.
well, this is the thing. Yeah, I think they've done that potentially to be like, yeah, oh, it's not a permanent change. Don't worry. 5 races. Don't worry about easing for the rest of the season. His sponsors will definitely make sure of that. Absolutely. Um, and yeah, it's from a racing point of view, and we'll talk about it more in depth, I'm sure. From a racing point of view, I'm kind of glad it's done and over with. But my goodness me, the Oak's been sacked like this out of nowhere. It does to me scream of Oakes, because Oakes, as a team principal should, has been backing his driver up. Everybody's been criticizing Doohan. Everybody's been saying, "Oh, it's only a matter of time before Doohan gets replaced." And Oakes has been like, he's getting on with things. He's getting things done. He's not really feeling the pressure. I'm quite impressed with how he's doing for a rookie. He's doing really good in the situation. It's not easy. We don't have a particularly good car right now. And yeah, I think Oakes has probably gone to Briatore and be like, no, he needs more time. We're seeing progress here. He's had a bad race in Miami, but he definitely can compete. And Briatore's like, nah, get out. You and Doohan gone. Simple as that. I know Doohan is sticking around as the reserve driver, but yeah, crazy stuff to say the least.
The reserve driver amongst 17 or 16 like Alpine drivers in the first place. But yeah, it makes sense that like Oliver Oakes has obviously like been defending him, and not just because he's a rookie, he shouldn't be able to just jump in the car and win in that Alpine for a start, which is ridiculous. Um, but also like arguably Oliver Oakes would be the person who made Jack Doohan gave Jack Doohan the seat for this season, because of course he was team principal last season as well. And that was when the announcement came, and then along came Flavio. And since then, the entire F1 discourse, going into every race weekend, going into the start of this season, the first episode of Beyond the Grid Talk, we talk about how unlikely it is that Jack Doohan's going to get through the season. And I think some of us gave him 5 races. I think some of us gave him 2. Um, I don't think anyone gave him 7 specifically, but what do you think about Alpine at the moment, Owain?
I mean, why would you ever go to Alpine now? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, we were looking at actually. We were throwing out names of all of the people who have been thrown through, thrown through Alpine at this point, and it is a long, long, long list. I think what is it, 18 principals in 9 seasons. It's almost as bad as Watford with their managers. I realized the other day that they can almost have a football match, a full football match with their managers, and it's very similar with Alpine. Like they can, there are so many people who have cycled through, and it's like Otmar's been at the on the chopping block, and so has Cyril Abiteboul, and at a certain point, I'm just looking at it going, what is going on? What is going on in Paris that is causing this? Because I mean, it's Flavio, that's what it is. No, but like even just with the Alpine name alone, it's a huge number of people who have been churned through, and at a certain point, you can't blame anyone but the organisation. It's absolutely ridiculous. They are the laughing stock, in my opinion. Um, this is not how a Formula One team should be run, in any way, shape, or form.